Hey y'all, me here. Wow, it's been quite some time, hasn't it? I have been very busy. I've been doing a lot. It's been, I think, 1 month-ish since my last video, which was just drawing. There wasn't any talking, I believe. So I decided I was going to treat you guys this month with a very nice, extra spicy edited talking video. More specifically about my commission process, because I don't get asked a lot of like stuff specifically about my process and commissions. Around this time around, I've actually taken a lot of inspiration and advice from other people, but I was thinking about all those times people ask me like, "Oh, how do you do a commission?" or "How do you go about commissioning?" I'm like, well, everyone's different. I mean, I know some people who literally just say, "Give me money, I draw it, and it's over with," and that's great, perfect, love that. I personally am very paranoid. More in the sense of I've seen a lot that can happen to people, and more like what has happened. It hasn't happened to me, but like almost did. It could. So my process is very like set. I don't know, it's like a step by step almost. I have always done this before, but this time I took inspiration from a friend of mine. He has used a Google form to take like people's specific requests and like, filter through them instead of having them DM them and then telling them no, which I was like, wow, I love that actually. So I did that, and I found it to be very, I don't know, it was nicer. The only thing I struggled with was checking it every day. I mean, I didn't really get a lot of commissions at first, which is fine. I wasn't like expecting to blow up, but more so, I was like, I don't know. I guess I was like scared I'd miss someone. It took me, I think, a couple hours to answer the first one I got, which was from this really nice mutual I have. Um, they commissioned me two commissions actually of a Tokyo Ghoul character they have, and I literally love him so much. I drew him free a couple times because I was like, I love this a lot. I just love anything that's like bugs and Tokyo Ghoul, so you know me. And then they were like, I literally need you to draw this. Like, I need you to draw him. And I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, not like I like them or anything. I literally love this character. I feel like I feel bad because I feel like people who commission me after this, which I do have some actually, are gonna be like, oh, why is it? I don't know. It won't be like any different, but there's definitely some extra pizzazz in the final product of this one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the actual process. My first step, usually after I've been contacted by someone and we talk about what they want, refine it a little bit, I will make a couple of, I say like concept sketches, usually 3 or 4, depending on like the complexity and the size of it. Specifically for this one, I made 4. Not biased at all, but no. And I made 4. I sent it to him, and he picked which one he liked, and we went back and forth, and eventually we chose a variation of one of the ones he chose, and hopefully it should be on screen right now. But after I did that, I did the colored sketch, and his reaction was very positive, I would hope, as I hoped. So I went ahead and said, okay, perfect. I'm gonna continue working on the chosen one, which I believe was, it was a pose. It was like a very common pose, I feel like, when it comes to like chibi art, but it was like, how could I not? And I wanted to try and show off his little like centipede tail as much as I could, so I decided to go with one that had like a form, like a very like roundabout like flow, I guess. So I went with the classic pose. I'm just refining it right now because usually after like they choose a sketch and like what they like about it, I try to clean it up and make it like more. I guess like if it was my first idea, how I would make it, so more closer to like my like I guess like my vision of what I think it would look like. as a final before making it a final. Usually that includes like me coloring it, cleaning, like again, cleaning it up, fixing some of the proportions and anatomy. Like right now, I'm just filling in like some basic flat colors and stuff. I'm not gonna put too much, obvious, like energy into it because there's a sketch. Like for all I know, they could be like, never mind, I don't like it, and that's fine. I mean, the whole point of me doing the sketch first before any type of like payment or like, I guess, like agreement or anything is so that we're both happy. Like I'm always happy to do art and like please other people, but I want them to be happy with what the final product would most likely be. So again, once they usually be like, I love it or I like it, but can we do this and this? I'm like, okay, I changed this and this, and now is it closer to what you think? And they'd be like, yeah. So now we're on to the next stage. They commissioned me a headshot, or I guess like a bust, which is like an icon sized commission. And I was excited because I don't usually do these a lot. And when I do, I feel like I limit myself because I feel very like if you can't tell what it is, then it's not that interesting. So I try to do something different, which is using a 3D model because I was like, I'm gonna try and do a more interesting like layout pose situation. Which again, I went with the concept of like the sketches and everything, and they chose their favorites, and then he told me what he likes about so and so, which one, and I tried to combine. I believe it was B and C that he likes, so I tried to combine them with I guess the like more obvious aspects of those sketches. Like I think B was more centered around the bug, but C was more centered around like the Tokyo Ghoul aspect of how they're like actual monsters, ghouls. So best of both worlds. Okay, at this point, I feel like I should explain my actual process. So usually I start off with a sketch. I feel like everyone does. Line art. It's kind of depending on what you think line art is. And then coloring. Some people might call that the rendering stage. I personally just call it the final stage. So that's up to I guess whatever you interpret as. So now, after we've been through all that and all the sketches have been like approved and we get the payment out the way, I personally always do payment after like initial sketch has been like, I guess, like liked or approved, so that later on down the road they can't be like, I don't like it, so I'm not gonna give you my money. It's gonna be like, we already did all the work for it, so like just because you don't like a burger you can get a refund, you know. But no, I mean, it's not that I like don't trust anyone. Like I don't specifically distrust like Charlie here. That's Fisher's name. Sorry, but it's more just like it's something I've always done. Like even when, like ever since my first few commissions, like probably a couple years ago, just because I was like when I was younger, I was really paranoid. Like I don't know, but I didn't know anything about commissions. All I knew was I get paid. So. And a lot of the videos I used to watch and like advice from other artists would be don't like take payment after. Like even if you really trust that person, it's not really like a trust thing, it's simply a business thing. Like most businesses you pay for the service before you get it because it's like a guaranteed service usually. Of course, I'm more lenient in the sense of like pay half now, pay half later. Like if you can't pay in full, like that's fine, I don't care. Like it's not, doesn't bother me. It's more so like I just want to make sure everyone's happy because I really, my worst fear is to deal with someone who's like, I don't like it. What now? Because my policy is like once the whole thing has been finished, like the entire art piece, like there's no refund. It's not out of like stinginess, but out of like, I mean, like I said earlier, like just because you got a fucking burger at Burger King and you didn't like it doesn't mean like you can go in there and be like, I want a refund, because you already ate the burger. So I don't know what you can do. I mean, I know some restaurants might be like, oh, okay, if you ate like one bite, but if you ate like the whole burger, then I don't like that's that. So in the sense of like, I already drew the whole picture and put all my time and work into it, there's like no point refunding you because the service has already been done, you know? Of course, I might try to work something out, like, oh, what do you not like about it? Like, can I fix anything? Or is there anything I can do in the future if you commission me again? Like, that's all you can really do in that situation. Of course, you'll probably end up going, I mean, not everyone will. I pray no one will. But, like, you might run into that person who's like, no, and I'm telling all my friends that you did this and you suck and cancel you and make a post or whatever. That's very unrealistic. That's a very dramatic idea of what might happen. It wouldn't happen, I hope. But that's like my worst fear, I guess, because it's not really like I don't want to be like, I'm not really scared of giving a refund and being wrong. I'm more scared of someone being dissatisfied and like feeling like as if they wasted their money, I guess. I don't know. It's like, it's one of those things I feel like everyone faces or deals with at some point. So it's not an alien topic, but it's a very like, I feel like it's a topic people don't talk about because it's like you don't want to be negative, and it's like that's fair, but I think we need to be realistic and understand that everyone will be happy, and you got to figure out a way to handle that in the future before it happens. So I personally suggest, like, once you figure out all the positives of a commission working out, what are you gonna do if something doesn't work out? Life lesson of the day by me. um, I literally was so happy with this liner. I remember I was watching, oh my gosh, what was I watching? I think I was watching a documentary about the first Saw movie because it's like spooky time, and the first Saw movie, and like I guess you could argue some of the other ones I love. I love them from like an artistic and just like interest. Like I don't know, I'm a very like, I've always loved horror movies, especially the more quote unquote gory kind. I don't know. I just think they're really interesting. But I mean, I don't know. It's very, in the moment I was just like, I need something to put on, chill out, and just like listen to, and that was that. I think it was like 2 hours long, and the line art took me about like, I must say probably an hour. That's crazy. I know. I've always been a very fast like drawing type, which it's a blessing and a curse, okay? Because okay, I whipped this commission out maybe like okay, with the rendering and the line art, it probably took me 2.5-ish hours. Going based off the times of when I posted it originally, the line art in my server, because I was so happy with it, and the final product I sent to the customer, it, I don't know, it's very like, I like being fast because I never feel like I take too long. I mean, sometimes I do feel like that because sometimes I go days without finishing something, but it's also a curse in the sense of, I don't know, I feel like a lot of my art has imperfections. Like, there's a lot of silly quote unquote mistakes in my art. I know you probably wouldn't notice because you weren't looking for it or didn't link to look for it, but I don't know. Like with my recent posts, especially on Instagram, like a lot of those art pieces are rushed and more for fun. So I don't really care about like them being perfect because most of them are for Cringetober, which is like a daily monthly challenge, which I'm not good at. I do not do that daily at all. But more so, I treat this type of challenges as just like a I'll get there when I get there situation. And with this, obviously with commissions it's different. I put all my effort into commissions, especially this one. It just hit me like a tidal wave as to what I was actually watching when I was doing the line art was an American Dad video essay. I don't remember the specific topic, but that is what I was listening to, and it was very helpful. The Saw documentary is when I was coloring, which would be right now. And as of me talking and recording this, that was like an hour ago. I'm trying to do this all as fast as possible because I've been working on this for like a week now. I think the actual commission has taken me 2 weeks to work on just because I have entered the world of being an adult and have a full-time job. So it's not really like, I don't know, I wouldn't call it lazy. Like, sure, I could probably work on it in between my shifts, but it's more so I literally just want to be able to finish this in a manner that's like reasonable for the customer, me, and also like I was also turning it into a video, So that was also kind of adding on to it because I really hate editing. I don't hate editing, but I get editing anxiety where I'm like, I don't know what to do ever. Like, I have no style of editing, I guess I could say. I know some people might disagree. Like with this video, I tried to be more fun and like I feel more like, I guess what fits my personality of me talking over it. So hopefully you guys agree when the final product comes out. I don't know, I might change it completely and I might sound crazy right now. Who knows? But yeah, so circling back to the topic that I totally did not forget. Yeah, I am a fast drawer. I don't know. It's one of those things where I love it. Like, I could finish something in like 2 hours and I hate it because I'll look back on it and be like, wow, I wish I did a little bit more time on that. So with this commission and literally all my commissions, I try and spend more time working on it instead of be like, bam, done, next. Because I feel like that kind of cheats the person. I mean, like, I'm sure it's fun to have your commission done in like a day or two because like, wow, yay. But I feel bad because I feel like I'm like holding back both myself and for them on what it could look like. So I try my best not to do that. Especially with this one, not because I love the character. I do love the character, but more specifically, I was trying to start over, like art wise. Not start over, but more so, I was trying to set a new like, I guess like what's the word, standard. Like, I think might be my new standard. Like, I really love how this one turned out. It drove me crazy. Like, I still am looking at it. I love it so much. But I definitely put more like effort into what I feel like I would usually in a lot of my own personal art, especially recently. So I'm hoping this is a trend and I continue doing this because I love art and I love putting my best. It's not really a sense of like, oh, I just don't like art and I don't think it deserves all my attention. More so, I'm literally so busy and tired all the time that when I do draw, it's a gift because I literally have like no time ever anymore. So I'm hoping to work on that and change it and fix it because I love drawing and I love doing these videos and I love just everything about this process. So hopefully that'll become a trend and I will stop being so consumed. I mean, I have to be because it's a job, but you get it. You get it. You might say you don't, but you get it. Don't look away. You know you do. I don't know. I literally, when I was drawing this and literally all week, I've been thinking about what to talk about and say over this video. And I realized I was like, I just need to like talk about what I say I'm going to talk about, which is commissions. I'm trying to think. My first commission is, some of y'all might not even know what this is. Wow. Wow. I believe was with DeviantArt points, which was like an online currency for DeviantArt. It's still there, it's still a thing, but like when I was younger and first like putting my art out there and like actually taking in like other people, I guess like opinions and like thinking thoughts, I guess, that was one of the first outlets I had. And I remember I used to use Deviant points as like currency because I mean I was like 12, 13, I don't know what I was gonna do for actual money. So I would do that. A lot of it was out of more, looking back at it, it was pity. It wasn't pity. It was definitely donations because, I mean, now listen, this might sound bad, but it was not that serious because it was like 2 or 3 points from people who probably had millions. And it was like, I would never actually do the commission. I would do some of them, but I was 12 to 13, so I would not remember, or I just didn't want to. And this is back then when now looking back at it, a lot of those people probably did it because they just were like, make me feel better. And I appreciate it because it definitely boosted my ego. I'm kidding. I'm still the same. I'm not a scammer. I should rephrase that. I'm not the same. I'm better than that, obviously. I mean, I'm finishing something right now. But, no. That was one of my first experiences with commissions. My second one, that Oh no, I didn't start taking actual money until I was like 16, I'd say. And even then, my prices I feel like were very different. Like, I feel like they're a lot cheaper, obviously, because at the time I was very insecure about my art. I didn't think I deserved a lot of money. Like, I didn't understand the business, quote unquote, business aspect of it. And like, you know, like people nowadays would tell you, like in a lot of commission videos, like, oh, when you're pricing your art, you're not just pricing what you think your art's worth, you're also pricing the time and the energy you put into said art. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. So it's like my art is based off like, oh, what I think it's worth, which at the end of the day, no, you cannot put value on your art, because I personally feel like art is like invaluable in the sense of like no one has this, like no one's worth anything more than someone else. Like in the same way you can't say like a parent can't be like I love you more than your brother, because that's kind of messed up, you know? So I personally would not say like, oh, my art's cheaper than so and so artists because they're better. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's more like I personally, like, if we were in a world where people did not need to do art for money, I would not put a price on art in certain things, because it'd be like, there's no point, because it's not worth, like, I mean, it's worth stuff. It's like, it's invaluable. But we unfortunately live in a time where everything has to do with money or else. So that's my rant of the day. I hope that sounded fine. If I need to expand on it, I will, but just know the whole point is that pricing your art is not just pricing the art. You're also pricing you in your time as a person, as an artist, because you are valuable in your own ways and you deserve to receive that value. Awesome. That's a quote. Quote that. Someone write that down for me. Back to the art on the screen right now. I really loved how these pants turned out and the tail. But the pants, literally, I have this one airbrush, like, coloring brush I've had it for so long. I use it on and off. But recently, I have been using it like it's the Bible, because it's so life-saving. Like, I've been trying to incorporate, like, textures and stuff into my art more. So you might notice, like, I tried to make the tail, like, scaly and shiny and bug-like. But the jeans have, like, a jean texture. Like, clothing. And I would say the same for the shoes, but to be honest, the shoes were just like, ooh, pretty. So those are just as is. The jacket, I was gonna try to do the same for the jacket. I didn't. It wasn't like, I think I just didn't think about it at the time, but I tried. So I get a gold star for trying. I don't know. There's not much left, I believe, after this. I redo the skin shading rendering because I didn't like it the first time, and I thought maybe if I do everything else first, it will come back to me, because I feel like I try to do this a lot. I try not to do like the face and stuff first, because I feel like the face should be influenced by the rest of the art. But I say that, and then I always do the face first anyway. So one day I might actually try and do that more, because with this piece I think it worked out really well, because I'm in love with it. Like, my method for getting this coloring was I did like the initial coloring, I think it was color burn or linear burn, which is like a layer mode you can set. And I use like a reddish pink shade for that, like right now. But then I used the actual skin tone, like original one, like airbrushed over it, which gave it that like orange outline, like kind of color to it. I loved it. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna do it again. I say that, I'll forget I did it and how, and I'll be insane. But one day, I plan to make a video of stuff just like that, just like little art stuff I do, and I feel like it's really helpful. In here, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm abusing the halftone brush. The one thing I hate, or I guess like I don't like that much about Clip Studio, is how they handle halftones. Like the way Procreate does it, I'm in love. Like, I abuse my halftone brushes in Procreate. But in Clip, I try, but it's just the way the dots like fade out and blend. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's not what I want, but I've learned to work with it. The line art, like, I love the line art, but coloring it was so... I'm not the best at coloring line art. Like, I feel like I am better off just doing one big color and then a blending mode over it. But this time I tried to actually color it. I do still, like, do my whole blending mode situation. But this time I tried to put some more extra effort into it. Because this is a commission and we're being paid to care. And I care a lot, so.